National Schools Cricket Tournament. Playing at Kensington Oval today, St. Leonard's defeated Hamilton Lashley Foundation by 17 runs in an all-Bajan final. Sent into bat, St. Leonard's were bowled out for 134 in 35.1 overs. Glenroy Jacobs took 5 for 22 and Jaden Jones 3 for 26, while Demario Goodman top scored with 38 for St. Leonard's. Here's Damien Best reporting on that innings.
St. Leonard's boys sent into bat by Hamilton Lashley Foundation. Very first delivery, pandemonium. Adrian Ward, LBW to Jaden Jones for a golden duck. Oh my. Jones now to Xavier Trotman, crack through extra cover for 4. Then the new man, Deswin Currency, got hold of Jones and deposited him down the ground for another boundary. 15 for 1 after 5. Jones, after a brilliant start, getting roughed up. A batsman's delight. Full outside off stump. Sweet and dandy through the covers from Currency for more. But against the run of play, somebody got too excited. Complete miscommunication on the single. And Trotman run out for just 7. 22 for 2. That triggered a mini collapse to Sean Boyce. Never looked settled, playing across the line. Trapped LBW by Glenroy Jacobs for 5. 36 for 3. Well, Currency still kept the scoreboard ticking over, dispatching Jacobs through square leg. 44 for 3. 12 overs in the bag. Well, St. Leonard's required a solid partnership, and that was easily said than done. Javid Ford completely missing. A full toss from Jacobs, out LBW for 2, 50 for 4 now. Captain Jamar Eiffel came in and showed his intentions, hitting high, hard and straight down the ground, 6 runs. But the excitement was cut short. Eiffel looking to repeat the shot, gives Kevin Evelyn catching practice at long on. Eiffel made 12. St. Leonard's 65 for 5. Hamilton Lashley Foundation in firm control. Jacobs to Currency, expansive drive, but straight to Paul Anderson Fields at cover on his way for 26. 67 for 6. With some relief, Michael Thornhill to Demario Goodman dissects the field. Delightful shot. But Jones brought back into the attack, collected his 3rd wicket. Ronaldo boys, clean bowled for 8. 97 for 7. Shaquem Haynes and Goodman put on a 29-run partnership. Goodman leading the way. Of course, surgical cut shot for 4. But Haynes was headed back to the pavilion with the score on 126. Out caught in the deep by Fields for 8. St. Leonard's 8 wickets down. Then Jacobs getting the prize scalp of Goodman. Bowled for 38. Jacobs with his 5th scalp, 134 for 9. And the last wicket to fall, Shaquille Turney, LBW to Javon Grosvenor for 3. St. Leonard's all out for 134 in 35.1 overs. Damien Best, CBC Sports.
Well, thanks, Damien. In reply, Hamilton Lashley Foundation were all out for 117 in exactly 40 overs. There were 2 wickets apiece for Kamari Boyce, Desmond Currency and Jamar Eiffel. Javon Grosvenor was one of 4 batsmen reaching double figures, top scoring with 40 in a losing effort. Ramon Giddens and Levi Cadogan are both into tomorrow's semi-finals of the men's 100 meters at the Pan Am Games in Toronto, Canada. Giddens finished 2nd in his heat in a time of 10.03 seconds, while Cadogan booked a semi-final spot in 10.18 seconds, finishing 4th in his heat. Meanwhile, Kerry Beckles is into tonight's final of the women's 100-meter hurdles. In this evening's semis, Beckles was an automatic qualifier, placing 3rd in her race in 13.14 seconds. Also competing was Akila Jones, and although she ran a faster time than Beckles, 13.10, Jones was 7th in her semi-final and missed out on qualification. The final will be at 8:50 tonight. And in the women's 800 meters, Sonia Gaskin didn't advance as she placed 7th in her heat in 2 minutes 9.01 seconds. Barbadian Samara Sulman is the Caribbean Girls Junior Under-13 squash champion while Shamari Wilcher of Guyana is the boys' champion. Playing in the final of the competition last evening at Marine Gardens, Sulman defeated fellow Barbadian Chelsea Samuel, while Wilcher met Bermuda's Charlie Riker in the boys under-13 final.
Let's start with the girls under-13 final between Chelsea Samuel in the pink and white and Sumara Sulman. And it's a good start for Samuel. And again, smart playing by Samuel, keeping her opponent on one side of the court and then making her work in vain to gain nothing but pain on this attempt. But Sumara came back and came back strongly. Samuel can't do anything about this one. From a Samuel serve, Sumara kept this one straight up the line, hugging the wall, and Samuel could do very little. Then the errors started to creep in. A swing and a miss by Samuel, and she can't believe she actually missed that. This time Sulman served and uses the angles well. Samuel into the wall again. But this player really brought the crowd alive. Samuel reaching and getting there, leaving Sulman out to sea. However, the diminutive player was able to swim ashore with this move as she took the first two at 12-10 each. But Samuel didn't despair. She fought back hard, really testing her opponent here with this one, and persistent pays off. This is one of the longest rallies in the set. The girls working all the angles and the walls to good effect until one of them would eventually break. Who would it be? Sulman. Magnificent play by Samuel, and the crowd loved it too. The young Sulman catching her opponent out of position and up the creek without a paddle. And she closed out the set in grand style here, getting this one to return down the line, leaving Sulman way out of town and struggling to get there as Samuel took the third at 11-9. This is the fourth, and Samuel trying to be a bit cheeky, but made a crucial error on this play. And once that happened, it seemed to open the floodgates for even more errors. But the guile of Sulman was always very evident as well. And in the end, it was another error by Samuel, which brought the curtain down on the match, with Sumara winning the final set at 11-6. The boys' final featured Shamari Wilcher of Guyana in the green against Charlie Riker of Bermuda, in a contest which was short and one-sided. Wilcher took the early lead and didn't look back, Riker not quite getting there. And just as cool as a cucumber, he polishes off Riker in no time at all in this first set at 11-4. After that, it was all downhill for Riker as he struggled to compete as the match progressed. And pretty soon, the writing was all over the wall, and so was poor Riker, as Wilcher went on to win 11-3, 11-2.
The West Indies Cricket Board has a partner with UNICEF for a second time, hosting workshops about child protection. WICB Development Officer Robin Paris says the initiative is not only to get as many coaches trained, but for them to know and look out for signs of child abuse.
In today's coaching world, we are trying to learn the coaches the different techniques in abuse. Obviously trying to actually know what abuse looks like, the dangers of abuse, and basically trying to avoid certain situations when it comes to player coach relationship.
Well, Child Care Officer Colin St. Hill sees the course as a learning experience because the coaches were not aware of some vital information.
They are not fully aware of some of the indicators of child abuse. They were not even aware of some of the aspects as it relates to how to protect themselves, because they go out there and do their job as coaches, very professional, but they sometimes not saw the linkages of how things could be interpreted and what they could put in place to keep themselves safe, and also the children. But there's simple techniques that you could look at. For example, if as a coach, it's your responsibility to ensure that the field or the ground is safe for the child even before the game starts. As a coach, you need to set out certain ground rules for the children and also for the parents, so that they would understand what is necessary in terms of behavior.
Participant Courtney Maskell found it very interesting and informative.
I found it to be very interactive from the child care representative, and he gave us insight into the different scenarios that can take place and what people are not always aware of. Something like child abuse can not just be physical or in terms or sexual. It can also be psychological and emotional, and even neglect can be deemed as child abuse. So I think coaches have to be aware. Say a child is withdrawn in the environment or acting out, sometimes it's just not a matter of they're trying to be difficult, but it might be something else going on. So it really is important to investigate and act accordingly.
Well, that's a look at sports. Lisa returns with a look at the business.
Saturday, July 25th, the National Stadium of